Welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad that you've tuned in, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Also presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings with 2 locations in Billings and Marionville. The Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And we go back to Central High School to visit with the head coach of the Bulldogs, Jordan Epps. And Coach Epps, number one, congratulations on making the Final Four.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having us on today.
And Coach, as you look back, there are a lot of historical moments this year. If you go back into the Norm Stewart Classic, the 48 hours of basketball, and then the blue and gold, and then making it to the Final Four for the first time in 6 or 7 decades, kind of put a bow on this season and all of the accomplishments that the Bulldogs have reached.
Yeah, it's definitely been a historical ride for us in terms of breaking some long-standing accomplishments that haven't been done in a while. It just feels great to do that. It feels great that these kids get to be a part of something like that this season, and it's just great seeing a lot of the alumni come around and show their support. They're traveling well to all our games. It's been a great season for that standpoint.
How many of the alumni have you heard from? I mean, you win the blue and gold, you go to the Tournament of Champions. I mean, just some things that happening at Central on the basketball side that hadn't happened in a long time.
It's too many to really count. I mean, I'm speaking to a new alumni almost every day. I'm running into somebody that says they're a Central alumni just out in public. Our game at Rockhurst last weekend had a great fan support, not just from our fans and parents and family and friends, but we had a lot of alumni that traveled all the way to Kansas City to watch that game, and half of their gym was filled up with Central fans.
As you look back at the tournament up to this point, we talked last week about the district championship. You get Rockhurst, you talk about that environment, a 58-48 win there. Talk about what really went well for you in that ball game.
For that game for us, we had to find a way to guard and get stops, which I think we did well down the stretch. I don't think our offense and shots were going in like they have been all year, so we had to find another way to win, and these boys stepped up to do it. We had players step up in big moments that we needed, like Tyreek here made some big plays down the stretch that helped us grow that lead.
Getting visiting with Central Boys basketball head coach Jordan Epps, who was the Springfield area tip-off club coach of the year, and Tyreek Brooks alongside, who was a Springfield area most valuable player of the season, most outstanding player. But Coach, now you've got a Cardinal Ritter, on the 15th. I guess that's Friday at 6 p.m. What do you know about Ritter?
Ritter's going to be very athletic, very fast. They play really well on defense. We're going to have to be able to take care of the basketball, box out, and rebound, and then definitely guard the paint. They get to the paint well and score inside well.
What at this point of the season do you feel like you're doing really well right now, team wise?
I feel like we're guarding well right now. We're buying into the defensive end a little more than what we have all year. We preached about defense, but um, every time in our pregame speech now, I'm mentioning, hey, defense wins games. Defense is what's going to get you further along in the postseason. I think they're stepping up to do that. Um, you can't really win big games when you're giving up a lot of points, and I think we've held teams to the right amount.
And you being relatively a younger coach, and obviously you played at the college level, you played at Nixa, and as a player you got to this level as well. Have you reached out to maybe a Coach Osborne or some of the coaches in the area and say, hey, what can we expect? What do we need to prepare for?
No, I haven't really talked to anybody along those lines of asking for advice or anything. I think the good thing about my career, I was able to play for a lot of really good coaches, like some you mentioned. And a lot of that just stuck with me already. Being in these moments in high school, being in these moments in college, um, seeing what they did. I have a really good memory. A lot of the stuff that I use come from a lot of the coaches that I played for. Um, so I think it's already instilled somewhere in there in my mind. I felt comfortable enough to not have to reach out. I kind of already know or think I know what they would probably do in certain situations.
And you've got all the fanfare along that goes with it. You've got basketballs, you've got a sign, there's a lot of other things that go on, pictures and things like that. What do you know about as you arrive up there? What are you going to have to do?
Um, I think the guys are just gonna have to be ready to lock in on Friday when the tip off comes. I really want them to enjoy everything that comes with being there, the environment, all the little things that they get to do and participate in. Um, I think our job as coaches is to let them enjoy that, let them be kids at the end of the day, and then about 15 to 20 minutes before tip off is our time. Then we need to really make sure we're focused and locked in and get them ready to go.
And alongside, you've got the Springfield area most valuable player, Tyreek Brooks, the only senior on this roster. Tyreek, hey, congratulations on a tremendous season and the award.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me as well.
And Tyreek, as you look back over this season, what are some memories that are going to really stand out that you're just not going to forget? And I know you've still got 2 games left to play, but is it the district championship? Is it the blue and gold? Is it the tournament champions? What are some things that you're just not going to forget?
I'm not gonna forget playing in tournament champions. Like that's something I watched growing up as a kid and just seeing all those big NBA players and big prospects playing it, and then now just saying that I was able to play in it as well. It means a lot to me. So
What are you looking most forward to? With regards to the Final Four, is it getting a matchup against the other great teams in the state? Seeing where you are relatively to the. I mean, you're Class 6 and you're going to the Final Four. What are you looking most forward to?
just being able to play and compete against those scrappy teams. They're gonna be really scrappy. Everybody's gonna want all 50-50 balls. So just looking forward to playing against those teams and then just building from there. Hopefully, we can get to that final game as well and get that chip. So,
And again, I may have asked you this in a previous interview, but if you could get in a time machine and go back to your 8th grade year and give yourself some advice based on what you know now, what advice would you give that 8th grader Tyreek Brooks? What would you tell him about high school and high school basketball and preparation?
I definitely probably would try to be in the gym more and then just making sure that I'm locked in at all times because I really didn't start taking it as serious as I wanted to until sophomore year. So just I feel like if I would have locked in earlier, then high school probably would have been more smooth sailing, and then probably would have had more wins throughout high school as well too. So and just getting everybody to buy in as well too. There's not a lot of teams that want to buy in and want to have a successful program. So just having that and having some guys along with me as well too. So
What's it been like for you as a player to be part of this historical run? The tournament champions, winning the blue and gold, a district championship, the Final Four, and I know you're still in the midst of it. And right now, it's probably gone by so fast.
yeah,
Uh, what does it mean to be a part of that at Central High School?
it means a lot because everybody, like you said, the alumni and everybody, all the fans, parents and stuff, they show a lot of love and they really appreciate what we're doing. Like they haven't seen a lot of this stuff in a while, and Central basketball is coming back to life. So just being able to be in those big moments, it means a lot. So
You bet. Well, again, congratulations, and coach, uh, you guys have played, I believe, on that floor this year. In the were you guys in the Norm Stewart Classic? Did you play at Mizzou Arena?
Yes, we did have a chance to play in that gym and on that floor already.
Well, that's got to help. That's got to help too. Knowing what the backgrounds are like. I've noticed over the past 2 weekends, and I know this weekend's just begun, but teams really struggle to score because of the background there being so different. That's got to be an advantage having played in there?
Yeah, it's definitely a different court. I mean, college size court, different background, like you mentioned. Um, it was kind of one of my things to make sure we got a game up there in the Norm Stewart Classic so we could play on that floor just in case we made it back. And it helps that we played on floors like Missouri State that kind of has that same kind of backdrop. So I think it's definitely an advantage if you haven't played there, especially if it's your first game of the tournament like this. Um, so there's definitely some advantages there.
So what does the remainder of the week look like? Do you practicing? Or are you going to go up a day early? You going to try and find a place to practice? What's your travel plans?
Yeah, so we just finished our practice for today. Tomorrow we'll travel down to Columbia. We'll practice tomorrow evening there, and then we'll kind of have a team activity for them. I told them we'll get down there, have practice, try to have some fun, go do something together, and enjoy tomorrow night because when Friday comes along, it's going to be about business and turn back into a business trip. So we're going to try to have as much fun as we can tomorrow and let the kids enjoy it.
Well, outstanding. And again, Coach, I appreciate you being generous with your time all year. Always enjoyed when you were able to make it out to the tip-off club and talk about your team. And congratulations for both of you being Coach of the Year and the Player of the Year for the Springfield Area Tip-Off Club.
Yeah, well, thank you, and yeah, thanks for everything you do, helping get that tip off club going, and all these interviews and sports network that you got. It's definitely great to have that for the sports community.
You bet. Thank you. Couldn't do it without coaches and players like you and you and Tyreek. But gentlemen, best of luck, safe travels, and bring the biggest trophy back. And we'll do this again next week with the whole team.
It sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you by 417 Navigator, 417Navigator.com.